started. Welcome to East Forsyth High School. My name is Jeff Beard. I'm very proud Superintendent of Forsyth County Schools. I want to welcome everyone for being here this morning as we celebrate our very first full year here at East Forsyth High School. You know, opening a new school is always challenging, but opening a new school in the midst of a global pandemic is even more so. This community, the East community, has waited for this high school for many, many years. Forsyth County Schools purchased this parcel of land years ago in anticipation that one day we would build East, and finally that day has arrived and we completed that first year. I could not be more pleased with the final product. This is an absolutely state-of-the-art, beautiful high school. And the support we receive from the community and our partnerships, you look at the Bronco backer right there on the wall, has been tremendous. And those partnerships provide much needed resources and support for our students who attend East. I want to thank our faculty and staff at East Forsyth High School for all the work that you have done to create such a positive experience for our students here. It has been a great first year. East Forsyth High School has experienced a lot of success in year one, and you're going to hear this from our students in a moment. We're going to share with you that success, but there is no doubt in my mind that the very best is yet to come for this East community. I've had the opportunity to visit the school a couple of times throughout the course of this year, and I've been really impressed, not only with the faculty and staff, but with the student body here at East, who are really engaged and really work hard to make East home for all the students who attend. In Forsyth, we often talk about family. The East community has quickly become a tight-knit family. And I want to thank our teams at Chesapeake, Chattahoochee, and Little Mill for helping bring all of this together. And I especially want to thank Mr. Jeff Cheney, our East Forsyth High School principal, for his leadership in working with principal colleagues and school partners to ensure that our East students have that sense of connection we so often talk about, and the resources and support they each need to access their learning and to be successful. Please join me in welcoming our awesome principal, Mr. Cheney.
Dr. Beard, thank you. Before I even start with the school remarks, I want to say thank you to the Board of Education, the representatives here today, Mr. Mitch Young, Ms. Leanne Rice, and Dr. Salone, for your tremendous support of East Forsyth High School. Thank you for building an amazing campus. Every day we pinch ourselves when we arrive on campus. It's a beautiful, beautiful school. It's an honor for me to represent the faculty and staff of East Forsyth High School this morning. It's hard to believe that our first year, our inaugural year, is already done. Today's the last day with students, tomorrow's the last day with staff. Not that I'm excited about that. As Dr. Beard stated, opening a new school by bringing students, staff, and families together from all over the district was extremely exciting, but also very challenging. And from the moment East was announced, the enthusiasm from our community was contagious. This momentum built throughout the entire construction project, hiring of the staff, our grand opening, and our ribbon cutting, but also most importantly, when the students arrived on the first day of school in August. So today we take the time to reflect, recognize, and celebrate the most significant achievements of this historic year. We would need a time capsule the size of a farm silo to properly encapsulate all of the achievements over the last 180 days. But we selected what we believed was our top achievements to be represented here today. As a brand new school with developing athletic programs, student organizations, and competition teams, our Broncos exceeded expectations and put East on the map in year one. The future's so bright orange, by the way. I know Ms. Rice likes that. We can't wait to see where these trailblazers will take us. At this time, we'll start our ceremony by recognizing our first region championship team, our girls softball team, Coach Weber and Ms. Hutchinson.
year for these young ladies. It's kind of hard to build a team. First of all, build a team that comes from 4 different cultures. We brought young ladies from Little Mill, North Middle, Central, and North together to combine. For them to be able to do what they did, my hat's been off to them all year. And then the family that we built within that softball community is growing every year more and more. So they asked me, they said, hey, who do you want to represent you? I said, well, none other than our first-time All-State center fielder, Emily Hutchison. So she's going to actually say something, and then she's going to actually put our brochure and our first newspaper in there.
I just want to say thank you. It was a great year and a great experience, and I wouldn't have wanted to do it anywhere else with anyone else. Having teammates make first team, all county, all region, and all state, just all across the board, it was a great year, and I'm just super humbled to have that experience. So, just want to say thank you.
We're going into Capsule for softball as their season 1, capturing the region championship, all the players and the staff, and their first region game program history win here. They advanced to the Sweet 16 in the very first year. So to see your athleticism, see if you're Next up, we have our team to advance the furthest in the state tournament, the state championship, and that is our boys soccer team with Coach Reed Thomas and player Evan Carroll.
First of all, I want to thank Mr. Cheney and Coach Hollis for giving me the privilege of being able to open up this program and lead this program. Most of all, I'm blessed with the young men that I've gotten to be around and coach this year. They worked harder than most teams that I've ever coached in the last 20 years. So without further ado, this is Mr. Evan Carroll. He was part of our Elite 8 team. He is also our scholar athlete for the county, and so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Well, yeah, I just want to say thank you. We kind of had a rough start of the season, and we kind of struggled to make a team, but throughout the year we built a team and kind of built a family within the East community, and I think I'm just really proud of how far we made it, and to be a captain of the team, and to have a coach like you, and to have a school like this to build a new team.
So represented from the boys soccer Elite 8 team is a pretty valuable scarf. These are not cheap. We have their first home. We were one of the first teams to host the state playoff game along with our girls basketball, girls softball teams. But this is from that game here at home. And then here is the newspaper article where they upset the number 3 team, Tappanell County, and reached the Elite 8, which is the furthest advancing team in school history at this point. Congratulations. Next up, we have our first individual state champion in school history. Ms. Valor Lekis won the state literary domestic extemporaneous competition, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that.
I can barely see over this. I didn't do as much as some of these other people who have athletic achievements. I personally can't do anything like that, but I was able to just speak in a room for about 7 minutes, come back, and win a state championship, so that's pretty cool. I'm really thankful for my coach, Mr. Yeager, who kind of spent every Saturday with me on Zoom just to support me, which I don't even know why he did that, but I'm so happy he did. And Mr. Speakman, who's the literary coach, which is where I got this award, he drove down 3 hours to Gamble Rogers just to see me stand in a room and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. So I'm really thankful to him as well. This is such a beautiful school, and I think it's important to know that even if you're unsure that you're going to have support in a new school, it's still important to kind of reach for the stars, because I'm so glad I did what I did, even if I didn't know when I first moved here. So if you don't know what extemporaneous speaking is, it's basically just you get a random prompt and then you talk about it. And you just pretend like you know something about it. So I basically just got an award for BS. I'm so glad I did it. So thank you to everyone who supported me, and thank you to the school.
Think about becoming a principal one day. Placing in the time capsule is the announcement, an article about Valor winning the state championship with a photo with her coach, Mr. Mike Yeager.
Can I even do this, though?
Valor is a great golfer, by the way, so. And then last but certainly not least is probably our most decorated athlete in the school this year, Mr. Alexander Aaron Beatty was the cross-country state runner-up. And I was there and saw this with my own eyes with Coach Hollis, our athletic director. He ran about 3/4 of the race with one shoe. And I'm gonna let him explain that story to you in a second. And then went on in the spring to track and field and won a state championship for us, the first individual state champion in school history. So, Alex.
It is true. I did run a state championship with one shoe on. It was extremely difficult, but it was really worth it. I actually thought of quitting a couple times, but I'm extremely glad I finished, and I was able to finish second. I wanted to say that I'm extremely grateful for this first year and all my coaches and the new staff, and they pushed me to some new levels, and the moments I experienced, all the emotions I felt going into last weekend were some I will cherish forever. It was a big deal to me to become an individual state champion, and I learned about hard work and leadership, something I've never had to do before being a junior, seniors. So that was important, and I learned about it's not where you start, but it's where you finish. So from that, I became a state champion. Thank you.
So representing Alex in our time capsule is the newspaper article and this great photo of him running to the finish line, holding his shoe in his hand. And then the newspaper article about him being the state champion in Forsyth County, representing Forsyth County. Congratulations. And then we also have to add to the time capsule kind of a collection of landmark moments in our school. And so, Mr. Hollis, you're tall. Would you mind coming over?
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're going to be the one placing these in the capsule. So we have our ribbon cutting ceremony and pictures from that. Pictures of when the construction project was completed. A bunch of newspaper articles. We have what we call Orange Man, Mr. Hodges, who wore a bright fluorescent orange suit on the first day of school. Sabrina was here and Ben Cook was here. He's the hype man, we call him. And so he will be forever memorialized from the school. We have our entire faculty and staff from the yearbook, so we can look back and see who was here to start. We have a gymnast who was the athlete of the year for gymnastics from Forsyth County, who is going in that. Our first program in school history, our first football program, and our cheerleading and band, and everyone is in here, so that will be fun to look at in 25 years. We have our grand opening ribbon that was cut. That was an amazing event. It took place right out here, and the whole canopy and sidewalk was lined with hundreds of people who were eager to come in and look at the school. We have today's time capsule ceremony. That's a pretty important event. We have some stuff from our fine arts departments, our band patch, and a program from one of our fine arts performances. We had our very first awards night this week with all the students. 148 or so, represented on the back. And then this was made before the school even opened, with help from Jennifer Carashelo in the communications department. It's basically about the opening of our school and the programs that we'll have and the pathways that we'll offer here at East, and how excited we are to receive our students and families. And then this one, please don't drop down into Mr. Ellis. This is a brick from Carol Daniel Construction, who was the construction project, construction design and crew for this building. This campus has been nothing short of amazing all year. So Matt Work and Rick Pruitt are back here, representative of those departments. The engineering and design of this campus is almost flawless, which is not typical in a brand new school in the first year. And so we thought it was important to add this to it. So that concludes the items and artifacts that we would like to put in the time capsule. We're going to seal this and then take it into our vault area where it will stay for the next 25 years. We'll show you the plaque that memorializes it, and then where it'll be located for the future. And then we'd love for you students to come back in 25 years.
I would ask the students, I'll be 84 years old then, so if you want to pick me up at the nursing home.
Me too. That'd be great. Tightened up, ready to go, place. About who's carrying it. I gotta do it myself! All right. Samples, you have anything you want to give from instructions?
Head in there, and then we'll take it. Anyone wants to join, then we'll take a group photo inside.
It's a vault. It's a little small. Come on, Wickman. This is your moment.
You get to screw it shut.
Okay, yeah, that's whatever you think is appropriate.
You bent your knees, no work comp claims for that.
What goes this? Suck in your stomach. You're doing this. Anyone else coming? Helping us design our box, our holder of the capsule, and to seal it in there so it can't be open for 25 years is our carpentry and construction pathway teacher, Mr. Terry Wickman. So thank you for doing that, Mr. Wickman. Come along. Here is our plaque outside the room. We were going to put it over here, but we were afraid people would think it was in the bathroom, in the restroom. So we put it over here.
Come take a peek.
Mr. Wickman will now seal the top.
You guys want to come over so you can see?
We do have plexiglass going on the front too.
What you want?